Good morning, welcome to episode 2. It's 8:30 on Saturday morning and it is launch day. So very exciting, can't wait. We're going out on a little shakedown trip. It's Mother's Day weekend, so I've got my mum with me. Angela's coming, William's coming, and we've got a bit of a surprise because we've got a new crew member, but we'll introduce you to him later. So I'll catch up with you shortly when we're moving the boat over to start the launch process. Catch you soon. Good morning. Welcome to the second intro of episode 2, where oddly for this episode we are going to start at the destination, so the end of the journey. The reason I'm giving a second intro is because you remember from the previous videos I promised that I wanted to do some better videography. I wanted to really kind of tell the stories, take you guys along with us on the ride. So today is the 6th of April. It's Sunday morning. It's 7:30. We are at Marsh Marina. I'm going to show you some shots shortly, and you've seen a few shots building up to this second intro. But in a nutshell, that intro that you watched was the 29th, which was our boat launch day, and it didn't really go to plan. The launch went really well. It's still nerve-wracking. It's only the 3rd or 4th time we've ever launched a boat from the trolley. It's always a nerve-wracking experience being the owner, but it went really flawlessly. Had some really great help. They're great at Benfleet Yacht Club. They're really versed at doing it. They've done it hundreds of thousands of times, so there was really no issues. The boat came straight off. We stuck it on the pontoon, and as I mentioned in the first intro, I took my mum, my wife and William, and our new crew member Pip, just out to the hull, which you can see here for some drone shots in the background. The problem we had was that it was incredibly windy. We knew that there was some forecast winds, and the hull is protected from both sides when the tide goes out by banks, but it really blew way up over 30 knots. It was only forecast to get to sort of 15, 16, and it blew up to 30. So it wasn't a bumpy night at all, but it was very noisy. It was very windy. We had a really great time. We had a few drinks, we had a nice meal, we played some cards into the night, and then we went to bed. The following morning, which I would have liked to have filmed, was high tide, obviously, to come back into the creek and moor up. It was still blowing 30 knots. It all went very well. Thankfully, Matt, who's going to feature in this episode, was at the yacht club waiting for me, so I tied up onto the floating jetty, got the family and everything off, and then Matt jumped on and helped me get it on the mooring because it really was blowing. So I was going to do that as a separate episode, but there really wasn't enough content, and there wasn't much to it. We just launched. We actually saw season 1. We've been to the hull a lot of times, and as the title of season 2 is New Destinations, New Horizons, I didn't really want to make that the second episode, so I decided to amalgamate it into this one. So this really is going to be an episode of 3 or 4 sections. I would say section 1 is just that little bit about the launch day and everything, but section 2 is it was a beautiful start to this journey. Section 3 is where we get battered, and I'll explain in a minute about why we got battered, and then section 4 is going to be the beautiful River Crouch, which is where I am right now. So we set off from Benfleet at 6 AM on Saturday the 5th. It was me, Matt and Ian, and thank God I had them. I had plans to have them for a reason. I wanted some experienced people on. Matt's very experienced, been sailing his whole life with his family. He's got his own boat. He's just bought a new boat, which we're really excited about. he's just bought a Sun Odyssey 43 DS, which is an amazing boat, a dream boat really. At the moment it's on the hard, it's just had its survey, he's just going through the final stages of completing on that boat, so some episodes coming is going to be us on that boat, which we're really looking forward to. But anyway, Matt agreed to help me bring the boat up here to Burnham. So as you may or may not remember, Ian, who's in this episode, his boat is at Burnham Marina, having an engine refit, and it's getting very close now. The engine's going in this week, he's going to launch, and I wanted to be up here to support him, because of all the things Ian has done for us. This is the first time I've been able to support him. So the reason I wanted to come up here was not only because it's a new destination, I've not been here before, but also when Ian launched his boat, is to be here as a bit of a buddy boat to support him when he's testing his engine. In case it does conk out, I'm here to tow him back to the marina, so I wanted to be able to offer him that support. What that proved to be was difficult, because if any sailors are watching this, you know that you should always have a plan B and a plan C on a journey, but unfortunately we only had plan A, which was we had to come to Marsh Marina. We were booked to get here. We're staying here for 2 weeks, maybe a bit longer, so we could only come here, and the winds were really high, way above what was forecast. We knew it was going to be a slog, because we knew we were going to have winds against tide for a large portion of the journey, but we didn't realise, well, I didn't realise just how bad things can get, and it was probably the toughest sail I've ever had. The boat gets absolutely battered. It was exhilarating, it was terrifying. It's a good episode, I think, so sit back and enjoy. I'm going to show you a few shots around here, and I'll be back shortly in voiceovers. Forgive some of the language, I'm going to try and beep it out in points in the video, because it did get that bad. Everything goes on the floor in this episode on the boat. First time, it was a sight to behold out there yesterday. It was blowing 30 knots plus against the tides, and we got severely battered, but it was good to see what Dancing Bear can do, and she looked after us and she got us here. But thank God I had Ian and Matt on the boat, because if I'd have been out there on my own, I think it could have been a massively different story. So let's get started. You're going to join me now, and we're heading out from Benfleet. It's 6 AM in the morning, there's a bit of sunrise, and then the story unfolds. Ian and Matt sorting my mainsail out.
Morning to you. Top of the morning. Ain't got a kettle on.
Ian wants his 4th cup of tea after he got here at 3:30 when it was supposed to be here at 5. We're just heading out now on our way up to Marsh Marina. Good morning. Welcome to the next episode, our trip up to Burnham. You can see we're on the way. We've just gone past the pier. There's Ian. And we've got Matt there poking his head up. It's 20 past 7 in the morning. What do we reckon, Ian? How long?
4 knots, back 10 hours.
About 10 hours. So we're doing 4 knots. We're under sail, mains up. Snow out. So I'll update you again shortly, but a bit confusing. As I was explaining at the beginning, I decided not to do an episode for the shakedown trip that we did the other day when we launched the boat. It didn't turn out to be a very nice Very nice trip, in fact. It was really good fun, but we got out to the mooring buoy in the channel when we launched the boat, and it blew 27-30 knots all evening and all the following day. And I had William on board, I had my mum on board, I had Angela on board, as you can see from the pictures at the beginning. So I didn't do a lot of filming, so I didn't bother doing a separate episode for that. So I thought best just amalgamate this episode and show you what we did when we launched. Launch went really smoothly, everything went well, engine fired up fine, but we didn't have a chance to put the genoa on before we launched, and we didn't have the main on properly either. So we set off this morning at 6 AM from Benfleet. We've got the genoa on, we've got the main sorted out now. So everything is good, and it is a stunning day, as you can see from the shots. It is beautiful. Sun's just rising up. We've got a nice sort of 10 knot breeze at the moment, so we're doing about 4.5 knots, but we reckon it's going to take about 10 hours. So I'll update you again shortly. At the moment, as I said, we've got 10 knots of wind, so it's a nice little sail. We're going to enjoy it while we can, but it is forecast to pick up to 18 knots on the nose, so it will be a lot of motoring, or possibly a lot of tacking. So again, I'll update you again in a little while. So at this point, everything just seems to be going absolutely perfect. We've got 10 to 12 knots on the beam, the sun is coming up, it's beautiful, and we had absolutely no idea what was about to hit us. As we start to get past a couple of miles past the pier, and we start making our turn up towards Middle Deep, the conditions change considerably. Conditions have changed somewhat from our nice 10 knots and sunshine to this. The lazy jacks are gone. I'm soaked. Ian's laughing. He finds it highly amusing.
I want a cup of tea.
Matt's calm as a cucumber as usual.
He's only got one pair of jeans, bless him. You've only got one pair of jeans.
I wasn't expecting this.
The sun's come out though, which is nice.
Mask me. So we'll update you again shortly. So to recap on what's just happened to us, we made our turn up towards Middle Deep, which is a piece of water where you've got shallow water on either side, and the tide was with us, but we had all of a sudden, really quickly, we had 20, 25, 27 knots of wind straight on the nose, so it was wind against tide. It took us straight over because we had full main, full genoa. We rushed up on deck trying to get it all down. The lazy jacks broke on one side, and the conditions, as you can probably tell, were very, very different from what we had in the morning. So this continued on for a couple more hours, beating into it, banging around on the motor. We were heading obviously for the entrance of the Crouch, where we knew things were going to be even worse. It doesn't really do it justice on camera, but these waves were probably, I would say, 2.5 meters, and like I said, about 27, and I think the highest we recorded was 33 knots on the nose. So we beat into this for several hours until we started to make our turn round to the River Crouch, which is where you'll join us next, which is where I think the third part of this journey, or the third part of this title, happened to me while I was below deck. I don't even know what to say now. Update. Everything's this is the inside of the boat. And that's after I tidied it up somewhat. Our peaceful cruise up to Burnaby, and hasn't been so peaceful, has it?
Been great fun.
Ian's enjoyed himself, laughing at me. Matt looks like the kind of person where a nuclear bomb could go off behind him. He'd still stay calm, wouldn't break a sweat.
He's pushing the button, that's why. Going against it.
So we've made our turn, is the point. The waves are now behind us. Apparently it's more comfortable, I'm not so sure. But we're heading into the crouch now, so we're about, what, 2 hours away?
It's a little sad we're still moving.
We've got a little bit of Genoa. So yeah, we're heading in now, so I reckon it's going to take, what, a couple of hours?
Yeah.
A couple of hours, and then we'll update you when we're all in. So we're now cruising downwind up the River Crouch. Still got about 25 knots of wind behind us, but it's considerably more comfortable than what we've been experiencing up to this point, beating into the wind. We've got about 2 hours journey down the river. We cruised down there averaging 5.5, 6 knots, moving out the way of a few container ships coming in, as you can see. But it really was a beautiful end to the trip. It really was, you know, the good, the bad and the ugly, and then the beautiful. The River Crouch was exceptional that day, and it was a really peaceful end to the journey. So very soon you're going to see us coming in to the marina and hitting the dock, and that was the end of the day. So to sum up, we made it all in one piece. Yes, we lost the laser jacks, but after we tied up on the dock here, we made the repairs and got the laser jacks all sorted back out. What I took away from this is that the boat really handled the conditions well, and I learned a hell of a lot, and I just want to give a big thank you to Ian and Matt for joining me on the journey and getting me to my destination safely. So I'm just walking down the coastal wall just to show you around where we are. This is Marsh Marina. It's absolutely beautiful here. It comes off its own little inlet from the crouch just there. It's well protected from the swell because it's got banks protecting it. It's a shallow draft marina. So it's very, very reasonable. I think it's a really well kept secret, to be honest. Most people I've spoken to haven't been here before, even though a lot of them have been up and down this river several times. They've not actually stopped here at Marsh. I found it because Burner Marina wanted to charge me £600 for 2 weeks stay to help Ian out, and I just wasn't prepared to pay £600 stay in a marina for 2 weeks. So I started to have a look around, and I came across Marsh, and I gave them a call, and they are just amazing people. As you can see, it's absolutely beautiful. It's got pontoons with electric and water, and believe it or not, they charged me £100 to stay here for 2 weeks, which is astonishingly cheap. It's got basic facilities. There's a little clubhouse, but you can't really use it as a clubhouse. It's more of an office really, but it has a shower block and toilets which are very clean and well presented. It's got its own car park. It has an area where you can be lifted out and dry out if needed. But the pontoons, they were telling me, the owner spent £1 million putting the new pontoons in, and they are stunning. They look like the pontoons you get at Cowes or something like that. They are fantastic, and like I said, there's electric points all the way along it, running water, and wow, what a bargain. I'm so happy with it. So I just wanted to show you around. I am going to try and find a spot to get some drone shots, but I don't know if you can hear in the mic, it's very windy, and that's pretty much been the story so far this season. Since launch, it's been really windy. Although it looks beautiful, which it is, the weather's stunning and it is warm, it's been really windy. Anyone watching this in the UK, you'll know we've just been getting battered by high winds. So yeah, it's very windy today. I've only got the DJI Mini 3 with me today, which, you know, I think will be okay. I'm going to walk a bit further down the bank here and see if I can get a bit of wind detection and get the drone up for a few shots. If not, I'm going to be back here because as I said, we're staying here for 2 weeks, and I'll get some drone shots then. I'd love to get some drone shots for you today, but I just don't think it's going to be possible. So that's Bridge Marsh Marina. It's as I said, it's beautiful, and I highly recommend coming here. I think it's a little hidden gem on this coastline. Well worth a visit. The people here are really lovely people, and they want people to visit here. It is a shadow draft, so I think their max draft here is 1.4, so they can't take everybody. But if you've got a bilge kill, you've got a draft of less than 1.4 and you're in the area, I highly recommend stopping in here because it is fantastic.